Well, Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to the show Coffee with CEO by CEO Club Pakistan and Management House. The pioneers in penning down the success stories of Pakistani entrepreneurs. And I'm so happy to have a young, very successful entrepreneur sitting next to me, Hassan Farid, CEO, Pak Steel. How are you, Hassan?
I'm good, thank you.
So a brief introduction of him. He is doing Pak Steel that made Centaurus, that made all the orange line trains, Lahore, Multan, Islamabad, US Embassy, Centaurus Mall, Tarbela Dam, Bhasha Dam, and a lot more. And along with this, he is also the director in Town Plaza and Elysium, the real estate project. Also, he is the board member of Russia Kai CPAC.
Special Economic Zone.
Yes, and he is the only Pakistani with 5 shiny. Yes. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Such a good introduction, Hassan.
That's thanks to you.
So let's tell more about Pak Steel.
Pak Steel is I'll begin my journey 75 years ago when my grandfather began the steel setup in 1949. This was after partition. And that's when we had the first steel mill in the Rawalpindi area, which is twin city of Islamabad. So that's how we began steel business. Then my father and his brothers, they brought the business up for the next many years. And now it's us running the business. So it's been a long journey.
And you are a UCLA grad.
I'm a UCLA.
And you worked there, and then you came back.
I worked over there. I did technology investment banking for Swiss Bank UBS. I worked there for about 4 years. New York was our training, and then I worked in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, for the investment banking experience.
So I mentioned so many projects of Pak Steel, and I'm so sure that I missed few as well. Yeah. So you tell which of the project really made you happy that Pak Steel have done this?
I mean, there are many of them because you feel pride in doing nation building.
Yes.
So I think the dam projects were a big kick for us. I think that was something that made us pride that we are part of a big project like that. It's nation building.
Woo.
And then infrastructure also. And along infrastructure, we also had the metros. We began with the Lahore Islamabad metro. Then we did the Multan metro. Then we did the Islamabad Pindi metro. Then we did the Peshawar metro.
Peshawar as well, okay.
Peshawar was actually, if you combine all these three metros, that's how big Peshawar was.
Oof.
That was the biggest metro. And uske alawa, we did the orange line train in Lahore. That was also CPEC. And then there were many CPEC projects that went across the board. And for that matter, we did the Hakla DI Khan motorway, Hazara motorway, E35, Karakoram highway, all the way to China, KKH1, KKH2, we did that. Islam International Airport, we did the complete project. The US Embassy project, we did the entire project. So काफी सारे हमने काम, we did a lot of work. So I mean, if you talk about pride,
yes.
US Embassy. US Embassy was a great project because that was a breakthrough for us.
Why and how?
How? Because usually they import the steel from abroad. Because it's custom free, it's tax free. So I was able to tap them before, I met them before. And then it wasn't even that, it was making the right product. Right? So usme, they had a different grade, they had a different specification, and the steel had to go to the Department of Lab approved, Department of State approved labs in the US.
So why?
Making that sample and that grade was an experience, was a process.
Sure. And you were not sure that whether
I had to shut down my mill to make the right product, but teams were working on it. It was great teamwork. It was, without a good team, I think you could not do any of these projects.
For sure. So why you think all the projects I mentioned and you mentioned, they selected Pak Steel? What are the 3 wow things in Pak Steel?
I think, first of all, we build in relationships.
Number 1.
We believe in relationships. That's a big thing. It's not about money. It's not about, it's beyond that. You basically believe in that, trust in the project, in that person. So you take risks according to, if you have a good relationship, you go all the way. There's a lot of passion in it. It's a way
you have to deliver because you committed.
Deliver as well, then you also have to know your client as well.
You're close.
They're good and bad time, but you stick together in good and bad time. So that's also one of the most important things. And then second, credibility. Okay, commitment.
You deliver.
We never backed. That's fine too. But when the steel prices went up, we never backed out of any contract. Usually,
whatever is the reason.
Whatever is the reason.
The dollar goes up or down, or the raw material price goes here or there.
We take that hit inside. We take that as a loss, but it's a long term. It's a profit. It's a commitment. It's a short term loss, but it's not easy as well. So these couple of things were like very important because recently with the market being very volatile.
Very volatile.
Especially for steel. Steel is a commodity.
Yes.
They call it the black gold. So it's a commodity, right? But it's a composite of many elements. You've got the electricity, you've got the raw material.
Yes.
That's being imported. A lot of hurdles came. We couldn't import scrap.
Logistics as well.
So and then also converting it, achieving the right quality, metallurgy. You have the chemical specifications, you have the spectro, you have the German spectral labs checking on the quality all the time. Because once the product goes in the market, your credibility, what I just mentioned earlier, is on quality.
For sure.
Right? Delivery on time is a standard thing, but if the quality isn't there, price doesn't even matter. If you charge even a low price and don't give the right quality, it's a question mark. Or you get a good price and the product is not good quality. Again, it's a big question mark.
So you talked about risk. Tell me the 3 risks associated with steel thing in Pakistan.
I think selling steel on credit. It's a working capital intensive business. So when you are working with clients, we're working with FWO, we're working with NLC, the big government contracts that we're working on. And you have to do credit. These are huge numbers, but you take calculated risks, and also again the relationship that matters. So there is competition, but at the same time you also know where you're working.
Talking specifically about steel industry,
right.
From A plus there is like L plus. You understand the quality varies like this, yes or no?
Yeah, it's a fragmented market. All kinds of players in the market. So people are working. There are all kinds of players.
So what do you say about that? Might be there are so many instances with you where you can compromise on quality and can deliver.
Right.
But why you pick and choose to deliver quality?
The quality is the only thing that goes long term. I think differentiating your name in that category helps you win the future business by default. Because people know it. If Chinese is building Islamabad airport, he knows your quality. So if the American embassy is doing the project, then they are checking the rebars in the US.
No, but do you think that when you are doing the business, so all the big names, yes, but you need the portion of smaller things as well?
Yeah, you have
and
to,
they are always looking forward for
you need to have retail. You need to have retail, dealers network, retail, you need that as well. You need people who are building houses, that's a very big market.
So you are into retail as well?
Yeah, we're doing that, everything. We do corporate and retail. Our portfolio of corporate is bigger than retail.
MashaAllah.
But we're doing retail.
So I got to know about the new plant you just inaugurated and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's a new production line, rebar mill, inline, fully automated steel plant from Italy. So that's something we are putting in the Hatar Special Economic Zone.
MashaAllah.
So we're working on that right now. So
why this plant is very wow? Two things about this plant. It's a new technology.
It's a new technology.
Not by anyone else in Pakistan.
No, there are other people who have this technology as well. Because the landscape is changing now.
Okay.
So it's evolving. Technology is coming. The future is economies of scale, and plants that are more efficient. So you want less wastage. So that's one of the reasons why high yield.
Of steel.
Yeah. And better quality, right? And now electricity prices have skyrocketed. So the consumption of electricity per ton is much lower in those plants compared to the. So all these things, if you add up, it becomes a big component. So I think now the future is not just technology. It's also subsidizing your power for the plant. Maybe you could go to power generation.
And what about the manpower? For example, you are having a very wow plant. Is it easy for you to get the skilled manpower for operating that plant?
No, we've signed a contract with the Italian counterpart where they will send engineers to train our engineers. That's a part of the package. The transfer of technology.
So you're doing the brain drain.
Yeah, we did that on day one. But that has to be done, right? You can't just have a technology and you can't have people who don't know how to run it. But that's the problem. So I just think it's something that is there, but at the same time it's a tough market to work in.
Yes.
Pakistan is a tough market to work in. There's a lot. It's a big market. 260 million people. They have to build. They have to live. They have to build houses. They need electricity. Dams are going to be built. You'll have infrastructure because population is growing. It's a big market actually. If you look at the Gulf, I mean, compared to the region, we just need political stability. That will lead to economic stability.
Yes.
But that's not happening.
Where do you see steel industry in exports? Inshallah, when the political stability is there.
I think there's a lot of potential. We need to work on reducing or subsidizing of power, energy cost. May that be gas, may that be electricity. And that is the way we'll be able to compete with the export market, because you can bring in the technology, but if the cost of conversion is very high, how will you beat other countries in the vicinity?
Sure.
China, Bangladesh, Iran, I'm just saying, just taking a few names, how do you beat them? So it has to be like textile is exporting because today their power is subsidized. If you are giving them the power, exactly, if they take it at the national grid tariff, they won't be able to compete regardless. So that's something, it's something the country needs to work on, and there's a lot more happening. The borders need to be protected, our local industry needs to be protected.
For sure. Where do you see Pak Steel 5 years down the road? I have high hopes.
Yeah, I mean, we're working hard, and we're a growing company. We're a growing company. We're also growing, mashallah, in recess times, and we are. This is a very tough time. I think right now, you just need to survive, even if you break.
Isn't it like the steel is in your blood? You're all the time talking about steel, thinking about steel, and working on steel.
It's definitely in the blood. That's for sure. Steel is a business. You need to have it in your blood to, get it really going. So, yeah.
So, what do you? Well, that's very obvious from you, and that's a very good thing.
I think you have to be, whatever you're doing.
Yes.
There has to be steel. There has to be passion. Yes, there has to be. You need to love your work. It's not work.
Passionate about it.
It's not work. Otherwise, it's something you enjoy. You look forward to. So it's fun. It's a good business to be in.
Okay.
In a way that if you're able to take those risks, and also it's a daily effort to get things going. So in a country like Pakistan, I mean, with the markup rates and everything going up like 25%.
Raw material pricing, electricity,
import bans, restrictions, borders not being protected.
Daily a new policy,
no consistency policy, no 5-year plan, no 3-year plan.
No export, no subsidies.
That's political stability needs to come, and we need to have a charter of economy, which they're talking about. They always talk about it, but it's not done yet.
So you're so much into learning as well.
Yes.
You went to Harvard, and then you are member of EO, planning to join so many other things.
Yes.
So what do you think this learning plays an important role in entrepreneurial life? There's so many entrepreneurs who are not into it.
Definitely, yeah, because I think it's very important you actually snap out of your own setup and go to a different place. If you meet different people, you see them doing better than you, and you learn from them, right? Otherwise, you think you know everything. I think that's when you start becoming stagnant. You need to be,
and then you live in a cycle.
I mean, I'll give you an example. When I went to the London Business School, it was part of EO when I was president. So I took a few members with me to LBS, and we took a course. It was a growth forum by John Mullins, and it taught me. There was a course on negotiations. So that wasn't part of the program, but I learned negotiation. That when we did the case study, and the best part was they had case studies on real companies and what those companies did in those times, and why did that happen. And then they used to bring the company's owner in the classroom, and they used to talk about why did I do it. So it's a good, and then we used to ask questions. So it's in practice you learn from other people's experience. The experience sharing. You don't advise you should do this or do this. You just share your experience. That's learning.
So you've learned a lot from EO.
Yeah, I mean, EO has been a great platform for learning. So
what do you think are the 3 main things a CEO must have? Either young or old.
I think discipline.
आप में है?
Discipline बहुत ज़रूरी है.
बड़ा मुश्किल काम है भाई.
बहुत मुश्किल काम है.
बड़ा मुश्किल काम है.
I think waking up early.
Woo.
That
Okay.
covers everything.
You know, in our
a lot of the discipline gets covered in that.
you know
The
what?
5 a.m. club, you know.
100 CEOs,
Yeah.
the 90 self-made CEOs says this thing. Waking up
goes.
early is one of the reasons that I became successful.
Yeah.
Very good.
I think that's one of the things that sets you apart.
Discipline, waking up early, and
Yeah.
number 3.
Number 3, I think, perseverance, consistency. I think it's very important to stay consistent.
You are in steel industry.
See, discipline is one thing.
Yes.
And if you're disciplined, you're not consistent.
It's not discipline then.
Exactly. So, but discipline is there, consistency
When
is another.
consistency is there.
Yes. So, I mean, I'd link them together
Directly.
because it's important to have consistency as well. I can't have to be disciplined and have different policies every day.
You know, you don't speak of your age.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you tell me,
Right.
what do you want to improve in yourself as a leader?
I think as a leader, I think building a very good team. You know, I think bringing everybody's potential to max.
To max.
I'm working on it right now. KPIs. How do you achieve that? How to achieve efficiencies. You know, that's important. I need to identify the problems. As a leader, I cannot say okay, it's not being done.
In a highly technical industry.
I need to identify where things are wrong and how to fix it. And how do we leverage. And one thing I'm doing consistently now in these tough times, I mean, I also thank tough times. It's good, Dekhi. I was telling somebody the other day, I'm glad these tough times came. We start thinking differently. Every day I come, I think of what's something new I need to do today. I'm not thinking about operations. That's running. What's something new I need to do? How can I save cost? May that be power generation. It could be export of diversification in the metal industry. It could be solar. It could be new technology. It could be saving cost. Different ways of doing it. Or finding new business. So it's more of the R&D part. And I didn't used to have an R&D department, research and development department in my office. So I've opened that.
So again, you're into new dimensions.
New because then I've got a team working on just that. So I enjoy that now.
Again,
so you also think about, how do you cover your devaluation? If it would have not happened, I would have never thought about it. How do you hedge your risk? Right? I mean, in the global markets, like when I used to work at the bank, we used to have foreign, derivatives, hedging too. But in Pakistan, we are like restricted. It's the state bank. We used to have a forward cover.
Yes.
That was first a dollar in euros.
Import ban.
Yeah, import ban. That's something, you can't plan things, right? I'm bringing a steel plant to Pakistan. And I know there's a raw material that has got a ban. So what do I do about the investment?
Or might be a new policy coming up.
If I'm investing in my country, what's better than that? And I should go elsewhere? I'm just saying. And I've spent my generations of my family spent in this market, and you just bring it to zero. You have to work in the same market. It's tough, but obviously there's a risk, there's a return, and good times do come. Like over the last, I think 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we've seen a good show of dollar. Rupee appreciation.
That remains constant.
I hope it's a long-term thing, not a short-term thing. But only thing we can do is hope, and we work. And I think daily you have to bring an output. So I mean, 5 years down the lane, I do see Pak Steel as one of the main players in the Pakistan steel long products market. Inshallah. And we all have to work very hard to be there. And it's a promising market, I'm sure. We just need political stability. We need proper governance.
Short questions. What is success to you, Hassan Farid?
Success is, I think it's relationships, building relationships.
Oh wow.
Money is a byproduct. I think if you build relationships, business comes, money comes. That's if you're able to do that. Don't know if you're able to do that. It's a big wow. Yeah.
What is happiness to Hassan Farid?
Happiness?
Yes.
Happiness is, I think it's being able to contribute positively to the society. I think it's a good self.
2 hobbies of Hassan Farid?
Running, working out, waking up early morning.
This is one. This is one. This all is one. Now tell me another hobby.
Traveling.
Huh?
Traveling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I put this into one.
Oh,
All these go together, yeah. That's why I told you all of them in one go. Traveling. I travel a lot. You learn a lot from traveling. Meeting new people.
Meeting new people, yes.
Networks. So, networking is the biggest business. They taught us at the American school in the US that networking is the biggest business.
Acha ji, thank you.
It is actually. It
okay.
is. If you have a network, that is the biggest business.
Yeah. So, do you watch Netflix?
Yeah.
2 favorite seasons or movies or anything?
One is The Godfather.
Aha, okay.
And another one was.
Do you watch seasons too? Recommend a season.
Season was there was a one on succession planning. Succession. It's about how family businesses they.
What's the name of the season?
Succession.
Okay, all right.
That's the season's name, man.
Do you read books?
I used to read books. I mean, I've read a couple of them, like the 5 a.m. Club and a few more. I mean, recently I haven't been reading, but.
No, you're not reading.
Not
Any
reading.
favorite book or that comes to your mind when you talk about books?
The 5 a.m. Club.
Okay, it's all about waking up early.
It's
okay.
No, it's not about that. Book doesn't tell you about waking
The
up
whole
early.
organizing.
It talks about
Robin Sharma.
Yeah, Robin Sharma.
I know.
How waking up early has an impact on your life.
On your life overall.
So that's important. I think it teaches you. I think reading does. Now, I mean, I there's audiophile. Reading books has gone to audiophile now. It's all electronic. So
You do that?
I do that.
So what's the last book?
I think expectation. There was a one on life expectancy. How do you build that? You know, it's not just working. It's like other things too.
Okay.
So,
your message of hope and optimism for youth, and you need to look in the camera.
Hope and optimism. That's the camera.
Okay.
Hope and optimism. I think in Pakistan, right? I think Pakistan is a beautiful country. It's a big market. People say other markets are big, but I think it's a big market to work in. I think you need to stay dedicated and work hard and believe in luck as well. And it's something that and never lose hope. I think there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So it happens if this is the hard way. It'll take some time, but I think stay focused, stay dedicated, and it'll be a promising country in the years to come. And for our children, I think it'll be a good place to be.
Thank you so much, Hassan Farid. It's so good to have such a promising CEO, and a young promising CEO. And usually I mention 3 traits which I usually pick up from an interview.
Right.
But talking about you, the only thing which I can see is passion. I really love your passion. I really love your passion towards learning. I really love your passion towards doing your business, bringing innovation, and then giving importance to networking as well. And then your passion to make yourself fit for your business, either by waking up, either by working out, or either by giving attention to yourself. Because definitely a healthy self, mentally and physically, could handle a business now. So, and I wish my young entrepreneurs to take this inspiration from you, to have their businesses in their blood now, because that's the passion that can stand up a business in these sort of testing times. So it was lovely meeting you up, lovely meeting a young entrepreneur with so much passion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.